So that is why I say instead of missing the class completely, let me engage you virtually. In fact, presently we are about to start moving to the airport from Langkawi to Kuala Lumpur. Then tomorrow we leave Kuala Lumpur to Nigeria. Inshallah. So I think you shouldn't mind me if you see me in the car moving, still discussing with you. I will try as much as I can to discuss with you, maybe within the next 1 hour, and share the little information I have with you. All right. So far so good. We have discussed a number of issues as far as our research is concerned. We have talked about research in general in terms of how you come up with a topic, in terms of a research problem. And I think in the last discussion that we had, we talked about the literature review. Am I right? Am I correct? I think that is what we discussed, literature review. Um,
So,
am I correct?
correct, sir.
All right. So now what I want to discuss with you is what are those elements in practical terms? What are those elements of a good literature review? What are those elements of a good literature review? I can give you a number of elements, but there are some variations in terms of the framework, in terms of the templates from different institutions. But majorly, I will give you information on the basic fundamental elements of a review of literature that cut across different templates from different institutions. And one of these elements is what? Like I told you in our last discussion, review of literature has to do with the tendency to interface with the previous studies by other scholars that are related to the topic of your research, that are related to the problems you intend to investigate, that are related to the issues you are trying to unveil, you are trying to understand by your research. So it is not all kinds of, because we say that review of literature has to do with the consultation, the interaction, the interface with the, does that mean that you should go out, all books that you see, you go and read? No, you are basically limited to all those literature, all those previous studies, all those documents that are related to the work. And it is on that basis that some people tend to have an opinion that the title for that chapter shouldn't be just literature review, should be review of related literature. Am I communicating? So that is what it means. But in so doing, the common element that run through different templates across different institutions is, number one, is what we call the conceptual framework. The conceptual framework. Are you with me? Now, in every research undertaken from your topic, there are key elements, there are key concepts that are contained in your topic. So, there are different meanings of these concepts, and there are specific meaning of the concepts. You understand? This concept that you intend to use in your work, they have their general connotations, they have their general perception, they have their general definition from different individuals. But in the context of your work, we want to know how you intend to use it. Am I communicating? Because every concept you raise, you can have different definition of that concept from different perspectives. And if you put the definitions together, you discover there are some variations. There are one element or the other that differentiates the definitions that you have about a particular concept. So this section of conceptual framework or conceptual review is meant for the dedication of the work to look at all these key concepts. Okay, to look at all these key concepts, you understand, and look at their conception from different angles, different individuals. For example, if I'm doing a research about the impact of financial literacy on human security in Nigeria or in natural state Nigeria. So now, if you look at that topic, financial literacy, you understand, human security, I need to clearly understand those two basic concepts, these variables. What do I mean by financial security? So, in this regard now, I have two major conceptual concepts to review under conceptual framework. Now, the financial literacy. So it's for me to look at how John 2020 defined financial literacy, how maybe Matthew 2021 defined literacy in his work, how Musa 2020 defined the financial literacy in his work, how everybody, how different scholars define it in their work. Having said all this, you come and look at all the definitions now and see whether there is one of those definitions that will suit the context of research, that will suit what you intend to do with the concept in your work. And if you are able to identify that, it's for you to say that, okay, having said all this, for the purpose of this study, definition by John 2020 will be adopted. Therefore, financial literacy in this work is defined as, then you present the definition of John 2020. So anybody looking at the meaning of financial literacy in the work, you look at how John 2020 define financial literacy as you clearly stated. Because in research, because we have varieties of information, you are at liberty to choose and say, this is where you are heading to. Another dimension to it is that you can borrow elements from different definitions and say, okay, since I cannot have a comprehensive definition of financial literacy that is more encompassing to suit the context of my research, then I borrow elements from definition A, definition B, definition C, and put them together. Then you have a paragraph. Having said all this, having listened to all this information, all these advances or submissions from different scholars about the meaning of financial literacy, therefore, for the purpose of this work, financial literacy is going to be defined as, then you present the point, the collected elements of from different definitions, put them together in a sentence and say, this is how you intend to define financial literacy. Because the essence is for us to know which context within which you are looking at the issue, which context am I communicating? So that is it. Then human security now. You talk about human security, you can talk about the United Nations Development, that's UNDP, define human security as this. But let me tell you, in the case of human security, you can say that the human security, I haven't looked at definition from different angles and maybe come to the conclusion that, okay, the study intends to adopt definition by UNDP. And if you are going by UNDP conception of human security has 7 basic elements. We talk about the personal security, we talk about community security, we talk about the food security, we talk about the environmental security. There are 7. So in the course of the definition, conceptual framework of this particular concept of human security, you need to say, okay, for the purpose of this work, human security is defined as this, and the study intends to cover 3 or 4 elements of human security. That is to say that when someone is looking at your work, when he doesn't see you looking at how financial literacy affects other elements that are not captured in the work, to be very clear that your work is not concerned about those other elements. Those other elements should be left for other people that come behind you. I hope I'm communicating. So that's how we do a conceptual review. But we need to hear from the point of view of different scholars how these concepts have been reviewed. Are we together? Hello? I hope we're together.
We're
Yes,
together.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
You can hear you, sir.
I will soon join you. Sorry, is the taxi that's supposed to carry us to the to the airport that is available. So let me quickly go into the next section. So the next issue, I think you are very clear about the conceptual framework now. So it means to look at each of the key concepts in your work and tell us how you intend to adduce the concept in your work. You understand? You don't need to say, okay, yeah, adopting definition. No, you can borrow the relevant element from different definitions and coin your own definition. And you are also at liberty to say that for the purpose of this work, a definition by one person is adopted. So that anybody that's looking at your work or looking at your work, if the person wants to understand what you mean by that concept, the person should look at how that particular person or John 2020 defined that particular concept. Am I communicating? Now, one other key element of the literature review is the empirical review. You know, in review of literature, we have different dimensions to it. There are two major dimensions to it. Number one is to look at it generally from the general perspective. But the empirical review now is basically concerned about empirical studies. What do you mean by empirical studies? Majorly, it has to do with a study that involves engagement with the larger society, engagement with the target audience, where you go out there, collected empirical information, collected empirical data using appropriate techniques, and come up with certain conclusions based on the data you have generated. So these are the major studies, major literature that you should review under that section. That's why it's called empirical review. The essence of the empirical review is meant for you to be able to identify area A, B, C, D that previous studies in that area have covered, and to be able to also identify area E, F, G that previous studies have not covered. And out of those areas that have not been covered, you are at liberty to say, okay, I'm choosing area 1, 2 to see that how I can cover those areas. I'm not communicating. In other words, the essence of empirical review is to make sure you are able to establish the gap in the stock of knowledge about the subject matter. Establish the gap in the stock of knowledge about what you intend to do, so that you don't go about repeating the same thing that has been done by somebody. You don't go about telling us or telling us exactly what somebody told us before. You should be seen telling us about something different. You should make your work unique. Am I communicating? And it's very possible. It's very, very possible. Because in a given research, someone cannot be able to cover everything about a given research. Just like the example I gave you about the human security, for example. It has our 7 elements. And you cannot combine all those 7 elements and say that you want to cover how financial security. No, it will be cumbersome and it will be time consuming. And so you have liberty to say, okay, you are going to cover either 3 or 4 of them. Written 3 will take care of whatever you want to do. So that other people come behind you can come and look at it from the perspective of other ones that you have not included in your work. And another dimension to you, like I told you under the research problem. Yes, this study has been conducted in different locations. In Plateau State, in Kano State, in Lagos State, in state this, state that. But however, with my interface with the external literature, I have never seen where this particular studies have been conducted in Nasarawa State. Therefore, I want to find out the reality of this particular issue in Nasarawa State. Am I communicating? But you can only be able to establish that this study has not been conducted until you are able to empirically review the studies that have been conducted on the subject matter you intend to investigate. I hope I'm communicating. So now how do I go about it? Remember in your chapter 1, we talked about research problem. We said that after research problem, you drive your research question or research objective. So immediately after that point, whatever you do in that research, you should be guided by your research objectives. The research objectives tells you where you should go. Research objective tells you where you should go. Anything outside what you have set out to achieve, you should leave it for other people going behind you to cover. So in that regard, your empirical review also to reflect what you have set out to achieve. For example, if your objective 1, specific objective 1 is meant to examine, the work is about looking at how the financial literacy affects human security. And we say that we have some elements of human security, and the work intends to cover 3 of those elements. So maybe you have objective 1 as how financial security affects personal security. So under empirical review, you understand, the first subtopic there should be financial security and financial literacy and personal security. So you are looking at financial literacy and personal security from general perspective. You can look at it from maybe globally, narrow it down to continentally, narrow it down to Nigeria, narrow it down to regionally, before you narrow it down to the context of your research. And by the time you read that context of your research, that's where you begin to establish the gap. However, having heard from this perspective about this particular phenomenon, there are no enough literature to reveal to the whole world about the reality of this phenomenon in the national state. It is on this basis that I intend to conduct this research. Am I communicating? Am I communicating? So
Yes, sir.
please, exactly. So the next issue you are going to review later on under chapter 2 to reflect your second specific research objectives. Then, if the second one has to do with the impact of financial literacy on economic security, then the second topic under empirical review should be what? Financial literacy and economic security. Then we should see you telling us about what people did about that from different angles, globally, continentally, nationally, regionally, and state-wise. Am I communicating? So you do that. If you have four specific objectives, then you should be seen having at least four issues to discuss under empirical review. It is after that that you having review all those literature under that empirical review, then you'll be able to say, okay, I have this area that has not been covered by the previous studies under this area has not been covered under this area has not been covered under that. Therefore, my study intend to provide information about these areas that I couldn't get information about them in the course of my interaction with the previous studies. Am I communicating? Now,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
being fast because people are waiting for me for us to go to the airport. Then, number the second, the another third issue is the theoretical framework. That's another very important section of the whole because theoretical framework has to do with the tendency, in the course of your study from different perspectives, from different disciplines, you'll be exposed to the idea of different theoretical orientations in the area of your research, where each of these theories will be guiding you on how you can go about reviewing certain, addressing certain problems. At certain point in time, certain theories are more appropriate to address certain issues than others. Certain theories are more relevant to address certain issues. And if you are exposed to all those kind of theories, it's for you to understand at what context should I use theory A, at what context should I use theory B. Do you understand? But the fundamental question now is, how do I go about it? How do I go about it? In review of theory or in establishing theoretical framework, the same thing I told you about the literature review. The review of literature is meant for you to look at the previous studies that are related to the work, not for you to go and consult with all the books. No. If you are from, for instance, from the accounting background, it's not for you to go and do all accounting work. No. It's for you to look at those accounting related work that are relevant, that are important, that have every significance to your work, that are related to your work, and look at what they did, identify what they didn't do, and be able to give us an idea of what they intend to do out of what they didn't do. Do you understand? So the theoretical framework now is meant to guide you. Is to give you a focus. And there are a number of theories in all disciplines. So this theory should give you a framework. Is to give you a standpoint where you should start your journey. It is on that basis that at the end of the day, when you finish your research, you should be able to link your findings with your theory. The moment you see a contradiction between your theory and your findings, you are able to say, okay, since this theory do not agree, you can look for a better, more adequate theory. Do you understand? But how do I go about establishing this theoretical framework? First and foremost, you need to identify these related theories. You need to identify them first and foremost. What are these theories that are related to your work? Review them. Take each and every one of the theory. For instance, if you take one of the theory, like in the area of security, we have what we call securitization theory. It's for you to tell us what is the theory, tell us who propounded the theory. That's number two. Give us the background of the theory, give us the major tenets of the theory. That's the assumption of the theory. Then the relevance of the theory to the work. Are you following? The name of the theory, the name of the theory the authors or the exponents of the theory,
Yes.
you understand the background of the theory,
Yes.
the assumptions of the theory,
Yes.
then relationship between the theory and the work. How does that explain your work?
Yes.
Then you can even go for that to make it more appropriate, more adequate. Give what the strength and the weaknesses of the theory. You understand? So if you are reviewing two or more theories, please. If you are reviewing two or more theories, if you are reviewing, sorry, this is my colleague that is looking. If you are reviewing two or more theories,
Yes.
then it is on the basis of trying to bring out the strength and weakness that you be able to, okay, which one is stronger in terms of strength in addressing your issue? The one that is stronger, then you choose it and say, okay, for the purpose of this research, I'm adopting theory one, not two and three. Then you begin to give explanation of why you are doing it. And in beginning explanation, you should align yourself with the strengths, all those relevance of the theory. As simple as that.
Make it live. It talks series, right? You need to make
Yeah,
it live.
yes, it's life.
It's life.
That's live.
Yes. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that you are also at liberty to identify one theory that you think is can adequately explain your phenomenon. Because sometimes the problem we have with students is that they may end up using different theory, but at the end of the day, they will leave others hanging and take one without giving explanation as to why they are taking one. So if you know that you're not going to make use, if at from the beginning you're able to establish that theory A can adequately explain my work, just use it and forget about others. Because I have come across a professor that said that the moment you review more than a theory, the moment you review more than a theory, then you must come up with a model. And what do I mean by that? You must come up with a particular theory of your own, a model that you can develop. And to develop this model, you have to borrow elements from different theories, from this theory that you have viewed. Theory A, B, C that you have reviewed. Borrow elements from theory A, borrow from theory B, borrow from theory C, and coin your own model. It is the model that will come that you can use now. If you think that one of them cannot adequately explain, that's why you can come forward. But we said that that approach actually gives us students it gives students so many problems because if you ask them to come with a model, they can't come up with a model that was research. Am I communicating? So I think these are the major issues. But in addition to that, you can find some schools, some institutions that may say, okay, in chapter 2, you can bring information about the background of the research setting. Another one issue you have to explain the study area on that chapter 2. Some will say that this review of explanation about the study area can be in chapter 3 of the work. But even if it means that you have to do it in chapter 2, this is how to go about discussing the what do you call it, about the study location. The study location, it means for you to give an idea of the environment where you're going to investigate your work, to give an idea of the social characteristics of the environment. People should know. It's on that basis you'll be able to give explanation as to why you choose the environment, not other. There are many other environments that you can use to do the study. But that explanation should be able to clearly explain and convince the reader as to why you choose that environment by bringing out some of the some specific characteristics. For example, if you are looking at the issue of criminality in certain environments, you should be seen talking about environment that has more high incidence of crime. Because that's why you can get information because they have the high experience of criminality. Am I communicating? Don't choose environment for choosing sake. No. Choose environment that can help you generate adequate information. Am I communicating? So far, so good. These are some of the issues that you're supposed to have as far as to discuss as far as literature review is concerned. Let me stop here and give you the opportunity to ask your questions because, as you can see, I've already carried my bag to start going to the airport. So you can ask your question. I can actually attend to you while we are on our way to the airport. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
The floor is open now for questions. I believe you have all understood all the things I have said.
Yes.
Anybody that doesn't understand anything, please ask your question.
Thank you.
The floor is open.
Thank you.
My guy here is telling you is also he told me that he's also thanking you for the he's thanking me on your behalf.
Yes.
So, my dear distinguished students, the floor is open. the floor is open for your questions, for your observation, and of course, you can make contribution. Yes, the fact that we are lecturers, we are here before, doesn't mean that we know everything. There are some things that we may say that you think there are some gaps, there are windows there that we need to, that loophole that you can please also make your
Good
contribution.
morning,
So
sir.
the floor is open, please.
Good morning, sir.
How are you? Who is
I'm
speaking?
fine, thank you, sir. My name is Ivy Adielekwata.
IT.
Ivy
Okay.
Adielekwata. Yeah, thank you
So
for the
well done,
lecture.
well done.
But some of us came in
Well done.
late. I can see that you have your backpack. You're almost going. Some of us came in late. It was a very good lecture. But please, sir, is it possible for
You
us
are
to
free
have
to
the
come, don't
handouts
worry.
today? Is it
No,
possible
you will
for us
get
to
it.
have the handout today?
As soon as I get back to Nigeria in the next 2 to 3 days, I will forward it to the institute.
All right, sir. Safe trips, sir. God bless you.
But
Thank you
I
so
leave
much.
the later part of the lecture that you have attended. I think you have really understood all the way because
So far, so good, sir. Very good lecture. Very good lecture and very simple to understand. Your form of
thank
lecturing
you,
is very good to understand and follow. Thank you, sir. And safe trip.
thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let me hear from Tessie. Tessie, where are you? Tessie, your response. Caleb, your response.
No, it was echoing. I was complaining that it was echoing.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't hear you. God, that's very unfortunate. Yeah. Maybe it was echoing because somebody among you left his this thing on because you are supposed to mute all your mic. Sorry about that. Caleb, where are you? Abdullahi. Abdullahi.
Sir, I'm fine, sir.
Okay. What can you
I'm with you,
what
sir.
can you say about what can you say about the lecture, Abdullahi?
The lectures is perfectly okay, sir. We understood you very well, sir.
Thank you very much, Abdullahi. But any question?
We've been following, sir. It is very, very okay, sir.
Okay. You have any observation, any contribution, any question?
Not really, sir. We only wish you safe trip, sir.
Thank you, my brother.
For now, sir.
Who else?
No problem, sir.
Hello,
David,
sir.
what is your question?
Hello, sir.
Hello, who
Matthias
is
on the
that?
line, sir.
Yes.
Problem, sir.
My general.
Thank you for the wonderful lecture, sir. We are grateful, sir. And to wish
Thank you, my general.
journey message, sir.
Hello,
Thank
Prof.
you. I will still engage you tomorrow. I will still
my name.
engage you tomorrow, inshallah. Okay, who is that?
Good morning, sir. It's David. You called my name, so I said, what are you bringing from Malaysia? What are you bringing from Malaysia? Good morning, sir.
I'm bringing your lecture note for you. Morning, how are
Very
you?
good. Let it be in English, please.
You said what?
I said, let it be in English language.
No problem.
Good morning, sir.
No problem. I will make sure it's translated to the English language, not Malaysian language. How are you, my brother?
Safe travels.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Where is my employer? Why is Dr. John? Why is Dr. Joshua?
Like to save
I
journey,
hope
sir.
they are part of us. Thank you very much. Dr. Joshua. Dr. Joshua, where are you? Dr. John. Dr. John. So, they are all not around. Okay. So, like I told you, Dr. Joshua.
Yes.
We had a fruitful interaction. We had a fruitful interaction with my people, and I tried to ask them questions. They say that they say they are okay. They say they are okay. I said, so no problem. But I think before I go, I need to get permission from my, because at the moment I'm already on my way to the airport.
Okay.
I think we have to hold our lecture tomorrow again. Our lecture
Okay.
tomorrow holds. Our lecture tomorrow holds, please.
Okay.
Maybe possibly the same time. The same.
Okay.
This the same time.
The network is breaking.
I think that. Okay. Please, I try to hear from John, but it seems he's busy. Are you with me, Joshua? Hello? Hello? Hello, Joshua. So it's all right. It's all right. Thank you very much, and have a fruitful day ahead.
Yes.
My regards to everybody. The other one is in my room.
Oh, it's in the room.
It's in the first room.
Go to Nigeria.
All right, my distinguished student, thank you very much. And
He will send me your location.
I will send you my greetings through the management of the Apudi, inshallah. Like I told you, I promise you, as soon as I come back before our next meeting, I'll forward the lecture note to you, inshallah. Thank you very much, and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Safe journey, sir. Safe journey.
Thank you, sir.